What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So the corruption in the sport of boxing exposed once again. Let me say it to y'all again. The corruption in the sport of boxing exposed once again. And y'all concerned with Turkey Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, and the way he do business? Y'all concerned with Turkey Al-Sheikh and the way he does business? Y'all talking about is corruption with Turkey Al-Sheikh and the Saudi Arabia group? You need to look in the mirror right here on U.S. soil. Look at this situation with Dominican lightweight star title contender who was just getting ready to get robbed in broad daylight. In broad daylight, with no ski mask. Dela Santos, 16 wins, 2 losses, no draws. 14 wins by way of knockout. 25 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. Negotiating the opportunity to fight for a world title against newly crowned WBO lightweight world champion superstar boxer Keyshawn the Businessman Davis. Supposed to fight June 7th. First it was said in Madison Square Garden in New York. Now it's said that June 7th in Norfolk, Virginia. Dela Santos, by Top Rank and Carl Moretti, was offered $400,000 for the fight against Keyshawn Davis. $400,000, right? He hasn't fought in 2 years. He's never won a world title. He's not a world champion, right? So he's offered $400,000, right? Good money for Dela Santos. $400,000 is good money, right? Samson Lickowicz and the PBC tell Dela Santos that Top Rank offered him $200,000. So he pulls out the negotiations because they offer him $200,000. And he felt slighted. He felt disrespected. So he goes out there and he says that he turns down the offer from Top Rank because it was lowball. They only offered him $200,000 without doing his due diligence, without doing his homework. And Top Rank comes out and responds to him immediately and says, that is a lie, a bold-faced lie. We offered you $400,000. We offered you $400,000. Then Dela Santos responds and says, silly, just to show you how these fighters don't educate themselves on the situation. He responds and says, I didn't know that. My team told me that it was $225,000. You was offered $225,000. They told you was offered $225,000. So Top Rank and Carl Moretti is like, what are you talking about? We offered you $400,000. So they was going to rob this dude. So then he says that they told him it was $225,000. Which means, where did the other $175,000 go? So, quote, here's what happened. Quote, Carl Moretti. He says, Dela Santos is a lie. We offered you at least $400K to fight Keyshawn Davis. More. He said at least, which is more. Dela Santos responds and says, now look at this. I ain't even know there was $400K. My promoter offered me $225K. This is why when you had the situation with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford was saying, hey, bro, you need to do your homework. You need to do your research. and figure out what you're being offered and what you're not being offered. So Edwin Dela Santos is now willing to take the 400,000, right? Because he feels like that's a good number. So they offered him more than 400,000 to fight Keyshawn Davis. Now it left Edwin Dela Santos as the fighter looking silly and uneducated about the situation. Now I'm pretty sure Edwin Dela Santos is ready to go back to the negotiation table and try to pick up that 400,000+ that they offering. This is why it's great to have Turki Al-Sheikh. Turki Al-Sheikh is great for boxing. He's not robbing the fighters, okay? He's giving the fighters good upfront guaranteed money, okay? He's keeping them active, and there's no lies included. Edwin Dela Santos once said that he had blood clots. Then he said he had an injury with his foot, right? Now look. Now Edwin Dela Santos got to go back to negotiation. Hey, man, I'll take that. They said at least, Carl Moretti said at least 400,000, which means it was more than 400,000. And this dude didn't even know what he was being offered, but turned it down. It's nasty work. He turned it down and didn't even know he was getting ready to receive a massive payday and a great opportunity to fight for a world title. But they was going to rob him of 400,000. So let's say if the Top Rank was giving him 400,000, right? And let's say he accepted it, right? They was going to take $175,000 and he wouldn't have knew nothing about it. He knew nothing about it. Nasty work. Now he wants to go back to the negotiation table. Now he needs to go to his team and be like, bro, what's this? Y'all tried to rob me. It's nasty work, bro. But that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.